The kingdom is in a state of panic. Ever more of the pastoral countryside is enveloped by the grasping expanse of the Shadow Deep. A respected veteran ranger by the name of Aventine was last seen investigating such a place. It has been 3 weeks, and he must be found. Simon Yardwood has never led a mission before. He has trained his archery to an impressive level, but he has always trained alone. Now he finds himself leading a party of strangers to search for Aventine. Xerxes, hound at arms, experienced and bold. Vaughn, the suspicious arcanist. Sal, a conjurer and possible heretic. Gruppo the rogue, cunning as he is selfish. Cody the recruit, naive but honest. Lastly, the animals, Buddy and Orion. The party discovers an abandoned village full of clues. There's clues in 2 locked buildings. There's a cemetery up there worth investigating. There's a monolith. There's some ruins. There's a mountain right there. We gotta look for clues. Also, where are all the people? Where are all the people in this village? Also, there's zombies and rats. Here, and here. As the party arrives, Orion makes a perception check and succeeds. He notices that one of the clues is actually closer than it first appeared. Simon decides that the rats are the most pressing issue at the moment. He sends Xerxes and Buddy to go fight one rat while he readies his shot. Against his better judgment, Xerxes follows orders and attacks the rat. The sickly creature is faster than he anticipated. It bites into him hard. He knows from experience he's going to have to deal with some kind of infection later. Buddy lunges at the creature, but even with assistance, he's not enough. The rat scratches Buddy mercilessly, but he somehow manages to avoid infection. Simon activates his steady aim ability. He obliterates his target in a single shot. The rat jumps onto Buddy and sinks his fangs into him, infecting him badly. Buddy is knocked out. The walking corpses lurch forward. Something about this place calls them. They were people once. They lived here once. Cody rushes in to assist his senior. Somehow working together, they're able to smash the rat to pieces. Sal shouts, "Use it or lose it!" before she blasts a zombie with a magic bolt. She then makes her way to the blocked door. Vaughn scurries out of the view of the zombies and pries open a door with his sword. Gruppo sees everyone splitting up and decides that suits him just fine. He makes his way to the monolith, and he finds some strange tracks, but they don't interest him, and he doesn't think to even mention it. Lastly, Orion flies to the graveyard and starts pecking around at the dirt. The bird is completely caught by surprise as a corpse rises rapidly from the earth. The corpse howls, calling to the village 4 more zombies on all sides of the map. Here's what the board looks like at the end of round 1. Danger everywhere. Simon finds himself alone in the center of town. His entire party has split up of their own volition. He decides to take initiative and sprints through the now open doorway. At the top of a tall shelf, he finds a potion of toughness, which he pockets before he runs back outside to create a diversion. The animated corpse swipes at Orion, but he's too nimble. The flurry of feathers attracts another corpse. Simon claps his hands loudly, attracting one of the zombies. Gruppo listens intently from behind the foliage as the creatures advance. A zombie shambles around the corner, and Xerxes barely notices it in time. It locks into combat with him. Orion furiously pecks and claws. He knows he has to get out before he's surrounded completely. Party hears his final screech in the distance, and then silence. As Cody moves in to assist, he hears a voice extremely close by. "Help me, please!" a survivor hiding behind some bricks. Perhaps emboldened by his chance to do some good, Cody swings his sword and lobs the creature's head off. Xerxes yells, "Make for those hills!" The survivor nods and limps away as fast as she can. Evil lurks nearby. As Simon holds the zombie at bay, he orders Vaughn to join the others. Vaughn does not hesitate. Sal attempts to break the door down, but her strength just is not enough. "Tag out with me," she says to Xerxes, who decides to try the lock himself. Using the hilt of his weapon, he crushes the lock with the precision of an expert. Gruppo decides to apply his skills and experience at a more opportune time and remains hidden in the woods. Another corpse begins shambling about the ruins. Here's the board state at the end of round 2. Simon uses his evade ability to step out of combat. He joins his teammates and takes a shot, but his mind is full of worry and he's distracted. It misses. Simon's mind races as the creatures advance. Where was Aventine? What became of this village? One of the creatures lurches forward, advancing on the civilian, but it becomes distracted by a closer morsel, Sal. They lock into combat. Sensing the danger nearby, Xerxes leaps into action. He crushes the creature's skull with a single blow. The group decides to avoid direct confrontation. They make their way behind the building. Sal casts a blessing of strength on Vaughn. Vaughn feels his muscles grow. The survivor limps on undisturbed. Gruppo signals to Simon to continue distracting the creatures. The village may be lost, but its coffers have to be here somewhere. All the commotion only draws 2 more zombies to the town. One of them is very skinny, don't worry about it. End of round 3. Simon takes a wild shot. He misses, he backs up. As he does so, he orders Xerxes to join the others. As the creatures advance, the party finds itself in a complicated combat situation. Numbers are on their side. Vaughn stabs one creature in the head. Then Cody, encouraged by the trust of his teammates, cuts off another head. He's doing quite well. Using his remaining action, he runs up to the gateway and peeks through. Sal, meanwhile, makes her way to the ruins and investigates. There she finds the body of Aventine. She investigates closer and finds he is still grasping his magic sword. She picks it up to return to the king. The survivor makes a hasty retreat. Gruppo is now completely convinced that the unexplored house has treasure in it. He moves to make a distraction. And nearby, he can hear some rats. Simon's next shot rings true as he wonders what happened to Aventine. Hoping it contains a vital clue, he continues to draw the corpses away from the house. Meanwhile, by some miracle, the rats don't see Gruppo and they continue advancing. They do, however, see Cody hiding behind that gate. The remaining zombies mindlessly take the bait. The party is now fully on the same page. They gather behind a choke point, carefully avoiding the gaze of the putrid rats. Gruppo, meanwhile, makes himself very visible. He hoots to get their attention. For all his cautious calculations, though, he couldn't predict a rat crawling out from the nearest building, just in range to bite him. Simon plants an arrow firmly into the neck of his pursuer, and then he retreats across the mountain. The creature is simply too slow to keep up. The other creatures move as predicted, including the massive rat, which sets itself upon Gruppo. Gruppo knows in his heart of hearts that if he does not get out of this fight fast, he will be set upon by every enemy in the area. He lands a decisive blow and retreats into the woods, hoping to shake off his rodent pursuers. Xerxes, who had snapped into combat with Val, lands a shocking blow on the zombie, knocking him back. He then jumps around a corner. It's now Cody's turn to make a distraction. He rattles his sword against his helmet and shouts as he hides in the ruins. The rest of the team ducks back behind the building. Without warning, the furthest building collapses under its own weight. This town is full of decay. Sensing that time is running short, Simon makes a run for it. He waits at the side of the building, ready to jump in as soon as the coast is clear. Creatures advance towards the enemies they can see. Cody takes a careful step back, and Xerxes joins him. Meanwhile, Sal and Vaughn use their full movement to rush in and block the zombie pursuing Simon. Gruppo ducks behind some foliage. More zombies enter the map. Their number seems endless. Silently, Simon slips into the building. All he finds are corpses. There is no treasure here. Vaughn lands a finishing blow on the zombie, and Sal makes a move towards the rocks. Reluctantly, Simon returns to the group empty-handed. He launches the signal that it is time to escape. The creatures attempt to pursue, but our heroes are already as good as gone. Vaughn suddenly stops in his tracks. He recognizes the face on this corpse. He resists panic and steals his resolve. He looks to Simon. I can't let him remain like this. Simon nods, understanding. They approach the wretched creature. With one merciful strike, Vaughn cuts the creature in two. The mission ends on a sober note, as they resolve to avenge this village. In the aftermath of the battle, Buddy and Orion return unharmed. I mean, Buddy's still diseased, but they're unharmed. They're fine. They both gain 1 progression point for their troubles. Hooray! Xerxes has also contracted some kind of disease, but otherwise, everyone is pretty intact. Each standing party member gains 2 progression points. Simon seems to have come to a bit of an understanding with his party by the end of this. It looked a bit rocky at the start, but I think a few of them are starting to respect him. He gained a total of 84 experience points on this scenario. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a kind comment so I know that maybe you want to see the second half of the mission, where Simon finds out where does zombies come from. Also, you can show even more support by checking out my Patreon, where I post new Riddle Blade paper minis weekly that you can print out and make your own adventures with. This has been a battle report for Rangers of Shadow Deep, a game that I enjoy very much. Big fan. Till next time, stay cool. Adios. Bye-bye. See you later. Night-night. Sayonara.